today. So we only have 3 plenary sessions. Started with Prof. So, Hyojung So from Ewha Women's University, Korea, who will deliver her speech virtually, moderated by Ibu Intan Pradita. And then after that, we would like to have Dr. Adam Ansori to also deliver his plenary speech, and followed by Ibu Dr. Rizky Farhan. We would like to welcome all of the participants here and also at home via Zoom meeting to deliver questions, and also to further discuss about the material delivered by our speakers today. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, since our speaker is ready and our moderator is also very ready, I would like to invite Ibu Intan Pradita to start the first plenary session of the second day of icoltec 2024. The floor is yours, Bu Intan.
Thank you very much, Ibu Ananda Yusriani, and good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the third International Conference on Language Teaching, Technology, and Culture. My name is Intan Pradita, and I'm honored to serve as your moderator of today's parallel session. We're thrilled to have joined you to us here to explore technology and diversity for transformative language teaching in the digital era. Our speaker today is Professor Yeo Jong So from Ewha Women's University, Korea. Good morning from Indonesia, Dr. So. Annyeonghaseyo. Her talk today is about learner agency in creative problem solving and writing with generative AI. Professor Yeo Jong So has extensive experience in generative AI technology for learning development. Please join me in welcoming Dr. So to deliver the speech today. The floor is yours.
Thank you for the introduction. Is the audio clear to everyone? Okay, and good morning everyone. Although I couldn't be in the conference place, I'm happy to meet all of you virtually. And I know it's very early morning in Indonesia. Okay. So today I'm going to share my research on generative AI and also some implications about language learning, especially writing. Can you give me the screen sharing function? Yeah.
I think you're okay now.
Can you see the slide?
Yes, we can see it very clear.
Thank you. I think we need to mute Auditorium. Otherwise, it sounds bad. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, so today my topic is about learner agency in creative problem solving and writing with generative AI. So this is the outline of my talks. Firstly, to give you a big picture, I'm going to talk about what is really happening in education in terms of digital transformation, and then move into creative problem solving and writing with generative AI. And also I will introduce some of the research findings from 2 studies that I've been doing with my students. One is about how students use prompt in creative problem solving. And the second one is proposing a new interface for human AI collaborative writing. So these days, we've seen a lot of AI applications. So intelligent data-driven movement in education is quite common. So for example, this Horizon report published last year, Horizon report is presenting the key trends of teaching and learning with technology. And there are 6 trends here, and you can see that the first one is AI-enabled application, and also generative AI is listed as well as a key trend. And also for language learning, we've seen a lot of AI integrated language learning platforms. Like this is one example. The Santa Toei is, I think, it's a Korean company, and they claim that when students use this application for like 20 hours per day, 20 hours per study, yeah, and then the students can increase 165 team to buy. If you really believe it. And academic approach, data-driven approaches really transform teaching and learning practices. So some people have very optimistic view, says that AI has a much potential for supporting human-machine collaboration, so it will benefit human capacity. On the other hand, there's also skeptical view. For example, these scholars says that there's a danger of technological fix, and also, as we all know, there are concerns about data privacy, also whether AI will replace teachers, and plagiarism and hallucination problems in generative AI as well. So this means that we cannot be really optimistic about what is really happening with AI. So such phenomenon can be described as digital dissonance. This is the concept that describes the phenomenon where students fully recognize and use the potential of this. Digital dissonance is also happening.
I think we lost you for a while. Dr. So, are you there?
I'm there. So where do we need to? Do I need to start?
Yes, you can reshare the PowerPoint presentation. We have been in AI as the digital dissonance.
Okay. So I will go back to this one.
Yeah.
So there are 2 key perspectives about technology in general. The first perspective is our technology as a replacement perspective. This means that technology will replace what already exists. So, for example, like AlphaGo shock back in 2016, so people are very shocked because they've seen that AlphaGo can beat the best Go player in the world. At that time, the people have more like a replacements perspective because they were really worried about this AI. But the other perspective is technology as transformation. So this is more optimistic view. So we can see that our technology will transform the existing situation into something better. So let's think about generative AI. The generative AI, such as like a ChatGPT, came out in late 2022. And what do you think? we have replacement or transformation. Do we see generative AI or ChatGPT as replacement or transformation? So this is the question that I had. So what I did in my research is I analyzed YouTube comments. I don't know whether you are interested in this kind of research methodology. Because at that time, people were talking a lot about ChatGPT, and that there were like a news clips that like also in YouTube, and that I found that people were having like a debate or discussions about whether we should use ChatGPT, like what is the like impact of ChatGPT in our life and also our learning as well. So I analyze people's YouTube comments of public comments from YouTube news clips from 3 broadcasting companies in South Korea, which is KBS, BBC, and SBS. Sentiment analysis, like a sentiment analysis means sentiment is like emotion, like when people have like a negative or positive or neutral emotion. And so topic modeling is also like identify key topics that people talk about through machine learning technique. And then we analyze this amount of data, basically people's comments in the YouTube, on the YouTube. So what we find out from this study is that public perception about generative AI is neither positive or negative. Many people are very neutral about the impact of generative AI. So it was very neutral. So they are not really extreme in terms of thinking about the potential of generative AI. And also we identify what are the key topics that people talk about. So this is we already published these findings. And then some topics are very relevant to teaching and learning. For example, the things they talk about at the end is like, oh, we need to change the way that we teach and also the way that we assess students. And also, they were very concerned about using generative AI in higher education, the university settings. So what we find out is that the just generative AI becomes like a boundary object for people to think about or advocating some fundamental changes that should happen in teaching and also assessment. So in conclusion, we found that public perceptions or expectations about generative AI is more transformation than replacement, which is good. And let me briefly talk about what we mean by digital transformation. So we hear this term digital transformation a lot, especially in business sector and also policy documents as well. But it is important to differentiate digitalization and also digital transformation. So digitalization is basically you apply digital technology to existing products or services. Easy example is ebook that digital ebook as digital transformation. So digital transformation is a larger concept which goes beyond digitalization. It involves some innovations in organizations or in the ecosystem. So basically, how this works is that we need to bring like a new actors or practices or values and beliefs into the ecosystem to change or replace or enhance what we have been doing in the existing practices. So I create this like a framework to explain like a digital transformation in education. In the context of education, we can think that this is PDP. There are people, for example, the students and teachers and parents. Also, we have a data, like lots of data. And also we have a process, for example, like decision-making process or problem-solving process, or even like a writing or language learning can be a process. And if you apply this concept to digital transformation, the key idea is that we need to change the conventional approach to something new. Okay, this is like a transformation part. But what is important here is we need to identify what is the challenge or problem that we want to transform. Okay, so this is like identifying the key challenge or key problem that we want to solve with this technology is the most essential. Sometimes people do not have a clear idea about the challenge or problem they want to solve and just say that generative AI is the solution, but they don't really know what is the challenge or problem. Search what I have been focusing on as like a challenge, creative problem solving, and also writing as well. So I'm going to talk more about this challenge that we can solve with generative AI. So broadly, we can question like what is like a human's role in this age of generative AI. Okay, so this may give you some ideas. Like in the past, like a human does all the work, right? We did all the work. But now we have AI. So AI assists our work. But if you think about this old model, AI is not just assisting human, but it can expand our ability. So we can do something we couldn't do without AI, right? But we can also think about like this inverse T model versus this T model. So this T model is like AI assist human, but you can like inverse them. Like inverse T is we human assist AI. Okay, this is also possible. This is already happening. You can also think about AI replace human work. So what do you think? Where we are now? T or O or inverse T? What do you think? It depends on how you use AI, right? So, and also I've been thinking about what is like a core, like a human's role in this framework. And I found this very insightful scholar saying that human agency is very important and unique. And also things that AI cannot really replace easily is creativity and also collaboration and the social emotional skills. So perhaps these are the skills that we need to promote and to students to develop. And also recently, I happened to find out this generative AI application. I don't know whether you know this platform, like a Notebook LM. Have you used this platform? Yeah. And this
We
platform
haven't.
is developed by, yeah, have you used it? Yeah. So this platform is also like says that, oh, create your first notebook. And this platform is like your research and writing assistant. If you think about like a writing is a very complex problem solving, right? And now we have this AI assistant. So do you think our writing will be much easier if we use this platform? Perhaps, right? Perhaps again it depends on how we use it. But for example, I didn't use it for writing, but I use it for my teaching. So I uploaded one of the class readings into Notebook. The class reading materials is about like a knowledge building and knowledge creation. That is very challenging reading for my students. And then once I uploaded this document, it creates a summary and also it even suggests the questions that I need to think about this article. Okay. Again, what is most amazing is it can even create like a podcast, the audio file that I can use. So, for example, if you are moving or if you're in a driving, you can still like listen to this audio clip, which talks about this article. Then I can briefly play.
Welcome back, everyone. Today,
Can you hear the audio?
Yes, we can hear.
Okay. So this is generated like within like a few minutes. It's also conversation style. So very interesting. It does not just summarize it's a conversation style.
today we're diving into something.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Knowledge building and knowledge creation.
In education.
In education, yeah. We've got a whole stack of research.
And real-world examples.
In a real-world example. So think of it as like a crash course.
In what's next.
And what's next for learning, you know?
And it is a pretty...
So you get the idea, right? So you feel like, oh, this is a really interesting way to learn. With this concept.
Welcome back, everyone. Today,
So then, think about like a human creativity and machine creativity. In the past, we always think that human creativity is a unique trait, right? So machine cannot be creative. And then many of us are familiar with this Bloom's taxonomy, and then also creating is considered to be most highest function for human. But since we have generative AI or creative work, including writing, and I found this very insightful article from Harvard Business Review. And then this article basically suggests that how generative AI can augment rather than replace human creativity. And then 5 ways that we can use generative AI to augment our creativity. And these are the 5 ways to use it. So for example, we can use it to promote divergent thinking and also challenge our bias, the human bias, or assist in idea evaluation and also idea refinement, and also for collaboration as well. And creative problem solving is very important. And this also describes why my research has been focusing on creative problem solving. And there's a very increasing demand and importance of creative problem solving skills in education and jobs as well. There's a report by World Economic Forum, like they published this report that the future of jobs. As you can see, the skills on the rise, the first skill on the rise, that means the skills that is very important in the job. Number 1 is creative thinking. Okay, so those who can think creatively is on high demand. And also the OECD's PISA test is the first time they have this creative thinking assessment. In the past, they only assess like writing, literacy, and numeracy, and science, the main subject areas in the school curriculum. But starting from 2022, they decided to assess creative. Our audience is from many and this region curriculum, the Merdeka curriculum, also emphasize just to become creative. Okay, so this is a challenge that the education system in Indonesia is facing with. So let's look at what other countries are performing really well in PISA test. By the way, if you are not familiar with the PISA is like an international comparison test. Indonesia is also participating in PISA. And it's only measuring performance by 15 years old students, around middle school students. And as you can see, not surprising, number 1 country is Singapore, okay, in PISA score. And this also shows that how South Korea, my country, is performing. My country is not bad. I think South Korea is number 5 overall. Indonesia is this is reading, math, and science, and this is the OECD average. So Indonesia is below average. So you need to, I guess, improve over the years. Yeah. Yeah, reading score is pretty low compared to the OECD average. But we also think that, okay, so they are creative, right? That does, do you think Singapore, surprisingly, but before I reveal that, you may wonder what is being tested. So this is the question from creative thinking test in PISA. And I will come back to this one because this is one of my case. And for example, they give this kind of image, bicycle. And the students have to propose the idea about the future bicycle. Okay, in the future, the bicycle will look like this, right? Yeah. So it may look different or it may have different functions. So they have to propose some ideas about the bicycle for the future. Okay. And as you can see, Singapore again, number 1. So that means the students who did very well in reading and writing and science also did. And surprisingly, Korea was number 2, which is surprising to me. Yeah. Is the connection okay now?
Yes. Okay. It's not okay now. Hello, Dr. Stel, you're back.
Yeah, sorry about the connection. Yeah, I don't know what is happening. Yeah. Where did I stop?
In the report
PISA?
about the countries of PISA, about the predicting the
Yeah.
future bus cycle.
Mm-mm. Okay. Yeah. We'll go back to this one. Is this the one?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So Singapore again number 1, Korea surprisingly number 2, and then you can try to find Indonesia, and then Indonesia is I think somewhere here. Yeah. So yeah. So again, I think we have to work harder to make students become like a creative thinker. Let's put this one. But creative thinking or creative problem solving is not easy. Yeah, because like creative problem solving is it's like solving the problem that we never solved before, and you don't know how to like solve the problem, right? So this is like you don't have any like a routine solution, and so there's no way that you learn it before and how you can approach this kind of problem. That is like a creative problem solving, right? And the point, like this is also again from the PISA test, okay? And I gave this task to my students as well. So you can also read this problem, yeah. So you are playing a game in which you have to roll dice, then connect the image that appear face up as inspiration for the story. So they look at this dice. The task they have to do in PISA is create 2 different stories that connect the images. Okay? and that the story should be as different as possible, and that they are given 7 minutes and no more than 80 words. Do you think you can solve the problem in minutes? What do you need to do first? You need to identify the image, right, from the dice. And the image is like an arrow. The first one is arrow, and then second one is right. So you need to create a story with two ideas: arrow that connects two images, arrow and earth. Yeah. Is the connection okay now?
It's okay.
Okay. Let me move the location. Sorry.
While waiting for Dr. So, maybe we can try to create two different stories for the audience in this room. We have two images in the screen. We have the arrow and the earth. Do you think what kind of story that we can create from the two pictures? You can take notes then while waiting for Dr. So.
Sorry,
So,
I'm back. The connection is better here.
ahead.
Yeah, I changed the table. Yeah. So you all create a story.
Yes, that's
See?
okay. We're trying
Yeah.
to create the story.
Generative AI, creating story will be easier. Like this one, like creating story will be easier. What is the prompt that you will enter, for example, in ChatGPT to solve this problem?
Maybe we usually use directive sentences.
Yeah. So what I did is,
We haven't tried it by using AI. Shall we try first, Dr. So? Or you can continue.
yeah. The most common prompt is directly restating the question in the prompt and asking for output. So create two different stories that connect arrows and earth. That is the most common prompt that students enter. And of course, they can get two different stories, right? But this is not what we really want, right? Yeah. So because then the students do not have to think about the story and that they can just copy and paste. And what would be a better question or better prompt to help students to become more creative thinker? A better prompt for creative thinking will be something like this. Can you ask me some questions? So to help me generate ideas that connect, that about a story that connect arrows and earth. So basically, if students enter this prompt, the student doesn't ask for the answer. Students are using it as a thinking tool. Okay, help me generate ideas, right? And then GPT can give you very good questions that help you do creative writing. Okay, so these are the two different ways that we can use like a GPT or AI. You can see that I did that briefly. The next like 10 minutes, I'm doing my students. So the first one is more about like how students use prompt in creative problem solving using the PISA assessment task that we already seen. And the second case, I propose a new interface for students learner agency. So creative thinking assessment, as I say, this is a new assessment that appeared in PISA 2022 first time. And then, and I think PISA want to continue this assessment in the next phase as well. And how PISA define creative thinking is the students need to know how to generate diverse ideas, how to generate like creative ideas, and also they need to know how to evaluate improve ideas. So these are the three main areas that PISA define creative thinking. And also they have two types of problems. One is social problem solving, and another one is science problem solving. So I give you some examples here. Like the one question is developing an application to save water. The students have to generate diverse ideas, to generate creative ideas. So they need to think about how to improve their example that I show you, the bicycle of the future. Okay, so this is like problems from the PISA creative thinking test. And what we did is we did this research with middle school students in Korea, the 38 students, because this is the age that does the PISA assessment. Basically, we give them this kind of task, like a social problem solving task and the scientific problem solving task. And then we look at how they use prompt in ChatGPT and analyze what are the differences, okay, in terms of using prompt to do problem solving, all right? And of course, if you do this kind of research, you need to have a coding scheme to categorize the prompt patterns. And we refer to several studies to come up with, these are the several studies that we refer to, and then came up with this prompt coding scheme. So anyone does this kind of research, you can refer to this coding scheme. So basically the dimension is according to the creative problem solving stages, like understanding the challenge, idea generation, idea evaluation and improvement, and also sometimes the chance off task. So we have a coding. So what we find out from this research is there are different patterns, and also in terms of so what we did basically is we found the students who receive high scores in the creative problem solving, okay, high scores. So you can see this blue. The blue area is the students who receive high scores. And the yellow area is students who receive low scores, okay? And what is lacking in the low performing group is, as you can see, originality, okay? And originality is lacking in both problems, okay? So then we can think that, okay, how we can help students to become more like a creative and also create original ideas, okay, when they use like a generative AI, right, to do problem solving. And also we look at the patterns. I'm not going into the details of this like analysis, but we found that high performing groups use different types of questioning or prompts, okay? And also they tend to combine their ideas and also generative AI's ideas. They are combining. And also, but low performing group students, they just accept AI generated solutions. And also, like they didn't really change AI generated like ideas. Okay, just accept it without fully exploring whether the idea is valid or relevant and things like that. So that comes to my next research case. Then we are thinking that, oh, well, how we can help students to have more agency. So they don't just copy and paste generative AI's ideas, but they can have more agency in their problem solving and also writing. Learner agency in human AI co-writing. So Mike Sharples, he's also like AI in education researcher, says that generative AI is a conversation partner. So, but if we use we give like a prompt and the AI gives some like a response, this is not really conversation process. Okay. But if we use like AI as a conversation partner, more complex patterns can happen in our interaction with generative AI. So there is a platform called Co-author. Co-author is a human AI collaborative writing platform developed by this scholar. Their program is based on ChatGPT, where students to write prompts. That's how it works. In this platform, we added two more functions. The first function is argument outline. That means before they do, the students do collaborative writing with AI, without any help, they need to come up with their main own arguments using Toolman's like a structure. Okay, so basically this area helps students to make their own argument before doing collaborative writing with AI. Okay, and this function is a similarity viewer. This is like a monitoring function. So as they do the writing, this viewer shows or visualize how much their writing is similar to generative AI's idea. So if this is higher, like 100%, what does that mean? Your writing is just copy and paste from generative AI's ideas. So then if it's like lower like this, or you did some modification, so you didn't just copy and paste, but you try to write your own sentences in the writing. So these are the two functions that we added this writing platform. And okay, this is how the argument outline is designed. Okay, and then we did a study with university students, around 52 students, and then we have two groups. The first group used only similarity viewer, and the second group used both functions, argument outline and similarity view. And then we look at what happened in their writing process. Again, this is very complex study, and we did lots of analysis from different perspectives. I only sharing one aspect of analysis. From epistemic network analysis, ENA, this is also like a common like a method to identify different patterns. Some of you may know this concept, knowledge telling and knowledge transformation in written composition. This idea was proposed by Marlene Scudamiglia and Carl Boreiter many, many years ago when they did a writing study. So basically, knowledge telling is like you just tell without like much elaborations, but knowledge transformation goes beyond that. So we use this concept to our analysis. For example, like knowledge telling is just accepting AI suggestions with little or no modifications. Okay. But knowledge transformation pattern is okay, you use AI suggestions, but you try to deeply modify. It's a high modification. This is knowledge transformation. So some students will use more like a knowledge telling, or some students may use generative AI or this platform as knowledge transformation. So what is really happening? Okay. So what we find out is that like a group two, okay, group two was given both functions like a similarity viewer, if you go back, both functions, similarity viewer and also argument outline. Okay, those who did their own argument outline before going into writing process, and also during the writing process, they were having the similarity viewer to check that their ideas are not so similar to generative AI. And what we find out that group two tend to show more knowledge transformation functions or patterns. So they tend to explore AI suggestions, okay? And also they did more independent writing. So they don't really highly rely on AI, but they try to refer to AI suggestions, and they're more selective or intentional about accepting AI suggestions and also do more independent writing. So we see more balance of using AI and also human writing in group two. So this is my last slide. So what that I want to emphasize in this presentation. So these days, because of the generative AI, the rise of generative AI, there are some concerns about whether AI will replace like human work or human creativity. As I emphasized in the presentation, it really depends on how we use it. And if we use very well, generative AI can enhance our creative problem solving skills and also writing skills. And also we need to prepare students to how to work with AI more effectively and meaningfully. Okay. And then I illustrate the potential through the two case studies that I've been doing with my students. So last comment or last point I want to highlight is that it is important to balance AI support and also human ability when we use generative AI. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Okay. Should we give a big applause for Dr. So for the talk today? It's very interesting to follow Dr. So's in every session and any conference because of the research is very up to date. And okay. And the research is very up to date. I've been following Dr. So since 2000.
Sorry, I cannot hear.
And maybe we can use the co-author, Dr. Sun.
Okay, so yeah, I think I fully understand the question. So your question is whether the students can use the similarity viewer or Mm, 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 yeah. Okay, the firstly, I think originality and similarity are two different concepts. Mm. Originality is more like how unique your idea is. So you don't like repeat like common things or things that people already know about. You can think about something new. That's originality. But similarity is like at least in the context of my research, is like how similar your sentence to the one generated by AI. So that is like a similarity index, right? So it really depends on what you want to see. Originality, I'm not sure whether there's any form that can check whether your idea is original or not. But similarity, I mean, we already know there are some like a plagiarism checking tool. That tool is also based on similarity mechanism. Students can check their ideas whether they are very similar to the ones already exist, including AI. But my idea for the similarity viewer is that it is not an assessment or checking tool. It's more about self-monitoring. So as you write, you look at it, and then if you feel that, oh, my sentence is like too similar to AI, and if you feel that you are not comfortable with it, okay, then you can try to, like a change during the writing process. Okay, so I feel it's much better than you write everything and then go to such platform and checking similarity percentage. We have someone ask the question in the chat. Um, Honestly, so far I didn't face with any problems, major problems. Yeah. In fact, I encourage students to use it as like a as as assistant because I also use it. Yeah. So, but I guess the most common issue that we can think of is like plagiarism, right? Plagiarism. So the students who use generative AI, and as I mentioned in the presentation, they just put the assignment task and then ask generative AI to generate answers and then just submit, right? But my experience is that um, you cannot prevent such behaviors. Okay, whatever you do as an instructor, there are still some students who do that because their priority is on finishing and submitting the task. Right? But if you design the task force meaningful to them, and that they feel that this task is very important to their learning, they may not show such behavior. They still use generative AI, but they do not just copy and paste and then submit the output, right? So also, like in terms of like writing, I talked to another instructor, and then he says he put this like some of the things the students have to do or shouldn't be doing with the generative AI, and his last comment in the assignment is that your writing should sound like you. I think that means a lot. So if we submit like a generative AI output, we all know that, oh, this doesn't sound like my writing, right? Right? And then so you feel uncomfortable submitting such work, right? So maybe you can put that. Yeah. So such behavior. Yeah, we need to design tasks meaningful to them. Yeah. Okay, let's see the audience. So yeah, but maybe it's too early of you. Yeah. So I'm happy to receive emails after the presentation or uh, my research. Yeah, can continue. Thank you very much.
Order, adjective, plus noun head, ya. And it is translated into mesin mobil baru with the syntactic word order, noun head plus noun plus adjective, ya. But with the same noun phrase syntactic word order, soft skin powder, if you translate it into only bedak kulit halus, ya, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so you must add either with preposition or conjunction untuk agar or supaya bedak agar kulit halus. Many cases in terms of the equivalence, yeah, not in the meaning but in the syntactic word order has arisen, which I then conclude that it is impossible to have the exact syntactic word order formula. But what I can control is not the result of the syntactic word order in Bahasa Indonesia, yeah, but the sequence on how to translate them. So therefore, I conclude, yeah, that the word order formula is still progressing. There are some things which I identify to be improved. Yeah, the first one is regarding to the secondary data. Yeah, I use the secondary data. Yeah, from Lehman's book, Syntactic Typology. Yeah, the studies of the phenomenology of language. Yeah, which I believe still hasn't covered all English non-phrase variations. Yeah? So I believe there are still more variations in the English non-phrase. Or I believe some of you may be familiar with the 7 stage of non-phrase or the 7 level of non-phrase. Yeah? And the second problem is regarding to the ability of my student at that time, yeah, to identify the noun head, yeah. So in the new formula, instead of putting noun head, yeah, if in that syntactic word order has more than one noun, yeah, instead I write down noun 1 and then noun 2, not noun head, yeah. And the last is the bookseller. Why? What I meant by the bookseller is actually it is a term, yeah, from my external supervisor, yeah, that we know it is wrong, yeah. The not bookseller actually, an old bookseller, yeah, an old bookseller. We know that the translation in Bahasa Indonesia is wrong, whether you use any types of trans tool, yeah, you use ChatGPT, Google Translate, or you use DeepL, the translation is wrong. Why? Because the context it's not there, and that is why you learn or you drill translation practice a lot to gain the intuitive, yeah, on how to translate it. And therefore, I come up with a new form. Yeah. I add one column, yeah, and this is the small picture of the formula which I am planning to make. Yeah, it is still in process. Yeah, but now there are three main columns there. The first one is still the English noun phrase syntactic word order. Yeah. So, for example, the syntactic word order article plus adjective, and I wrote not noun head, but instead noun one and then plus noun two. Yeah. So, and the second column is not the Bahasa Indonesia syntactic word order, yeah, but instead the syntactic word order translation in terms of the sequence on which part is translated first. Yeah. So, and the syntactic word order is article, noun two, noun one, and then adjective. Yeah. And I also give some examples, so not only one, especially if the variations are different. Yeah? As in example, a new car engine. Yeah? A article, new adjective, car, noun, engine, noun. It is translated into sebuah mesin mobil baru. Yeah? The same noun phrase, yeah, with the same syntactic word order, an old bookseller cannot be treated the same. Why? Because if you translate an old bookseller into seorang penjual buku tua, yeah, for a translator, we know that old, yeah, supposed to modify the seller. Yeah, but if you translate it into seorang penjual buku tua, which one is old? Bukunya apa penjualnya? Buku. Yeah? You must, as a translator, you must have that sense. Yeah. So if you translate it into seorang penjual buku tua, tua modifies the book, while the function of tua, actually tua, old and book, yeah, supposed to modify the seller. So therefore you must add a relative pronoun there. Yeah? Seorang penjual buku yang sudah tua. In that case, tua modifies the seller. Okay? Yeah. And this is the new phase, yeah, of my word order formula, and it is still not done yet, yeah, because I'm still gathering some data regarding to the variations, yeah, of the English noun phrase. But soon, after it is complete, then I will launch it. Yeah, okay, and I will end my presentation, yeah, by quoting Windy Lesser's, which actually I also used in my undergraduate thesis. Yeah. She mentioned that language is a prison. A translator is the savior. Back then, I believe that because we translate the text, yeah, from the source language into the target language, yeah, and the person or the people who only talks one language, or in this case the target language, yeah, doesn't know how to speak or how to understand the source language, then we are the savior because we translate it to them. Yeah. But now I see it as different, yeah, with different perspective. I believe because we are translator, yeah, then we look both language the same, yeah. We are not only looking the source language, yeah, but we are also concerned with the target language. So therefore, our understanding on both language are actually equal, and that is why maybe experts, yeah, in translation studies, yeah, mentioning that a translator must, yeah, must master at least two language. So therefore, I believe, yeah, it is our responsibility, yeah, at least my responsibility also to my students, yeah, to make them learn by giving guidance in the form of this formula. And I believe it is my small contribution to language learning. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you, Adam Ansoli, for the insightful presentation on now. Is there any question from the audience in this room or in Zoom video conference? Yeah, Nini, please.
Thank you for the insightful presentation, Adam. I have a question. You said that in syntactic order in English, there is a pattern of syntactic order such as adjective, noun, and non-head. For example, tadi kan ada soft skin powder, and we can translate in Indonesia by bedak yang membuat kulit itu bedak yang membuat kulit halus ya. Dan and my question is, it's good for us to for Indonesian people to speak English in Indonesian syntax order, or it is kind of lack of English skill. For example,
Mention about research in translating non-phrase by Indonesian scholars, yeah, are mostly case research in terms of they translate the noun phrase either in sentence or in text, and then explain the variations result in Bahasa Indonesia. While in this case, it is pure for learning how to translate only noun phrase, not in noun phrase in a sentence. Okay, thank you. Good question.
From the audience? Can you please make it bigger? No. It's something else. Yeah. It's from the previous session. Which one? Oh. Based on your observation or trial, have the generative AI been able to accurately tackle the translation issues of this syntactic word order from English to Indonesian and vice versa? And the second one, how much is contextual aspect or register element may play a role in the variation of the word order? Okay, the first is your opinion or from your research about generative AI for translation.
Okay. Good question, because in my class, actually, I asked them to use any trans tools they want to use. Yeah? And why I'm so confident? Because the texts which I used in class are mostly has either connotative meaning or cultural context. Yeah? I use many texts from Practice and Progress book from L.G. Alexander, which when they use any trans tool, still they must not only edit, but they must really understand the context both in English and in Bahasa Indonesia. So, for example, the first text, in the Practice and Progress book, the first two sentences. Last week, I went to a theater. Okay, what did AI do for theater? What is the translation of theater? Theater. Yeah. And what is the correct one? Instead, minggu lalu saya pergi either as an active menonton pertunjukan or an object. Minggu lalu saya ke gedung pertunjukan. Okay. And if you translate it into what AI has translated, minggu lalu saya pergi ke teater. Salah. Yeah. Okay. And the next sentence, I had a very good seat. Translated into, saya mendapatkan tempat duduk yang baik, tempat duduk yang nyaman. While the context is actually about the position. Yeah. So it is not the seat is good, or it is very soft, but instead we are talking about position, and those kind of things, cannot be sensed by AI, and only by translator, Okay. And the second one.
How much is contextual aspect or register element may play a role in the variation of the word order?
I believe it is very important, and especially now when I'm correcting as much as possible variations of English noun phrase. for this formula actually. I believe though with the seven level of noun phrase, I believe that there are actually more than 20 variations actually in English noun phrase. So by having those register, I believe it can be more complete, the word order formula, and it can be used later on to translate any types of English noun phrase variations and its syntactic word order variations also. Thank you very much. Thank you for the question.
Okay, is there any other question? I'd like to ask some questions as well. So, is it possible that some English noun phrases do not have any Indonesian equivalences?
Yeah, but in the context, in terms of in a sentence, as like what Ning has asked, that they are possible. A noun phrase, in a sentence, it is not translated in the Bahasa Indonesia version, and it is okay because in the translation theory or translation strategy, there are what's so called adding and subtracting. So you can add words in the target language. So for example, if the target language is Bahasa Indonesia, you can also add words in Bahasa Indonesia. So for example, a smiling general translated into seorang jenderal, not only senyum, but seorang jenderal yang murah senyum. So there is addition. And there's also subtracting. So it is like deletion. If the noun phrase is not translated into Bahasa Indonesia, as long as it doesn't change the meaning, there's no problem. So there is a possible noun phrase in a sentence not translated into the Bahasa Indonesia version because maybe the previous sentence had given the context. So therefore, in this sentence, although there are also noun phrase in it, but the translator choose to not translate it, and as long as the meaning is still there and it doesn't change the context of that sentence, then it is okay to not translate the noun phrase.
That was for the context of sentences.
Oh, in sentence,
In standalone English noun phrases, I found a lot of standalone noun phrases, especially in food labels. You know, extra virgin olive oil. How should we translate that into Bahasa Indonesia?
Okay. Well, there are culturally bound texts, and there are also pure source language context. So I will give example, and though it is a conversation, I believe it will be very difficult to translate it into Bahasa Indonesia if I'm not saying it is impossible. So I will give the context. The context is a conversation between, a basketball player, Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. Okay. The context is their teammates are angry or frustrated because Kobe Bryant didn't want to pass the ball to any other players. So they asked Shaquille O'Neal to talk to Kobe Bryant. And Shaquille O'Neal said, "Hey, Kobe, there's no I in team." And Kobe replied, "I know," because he's swearing, yeah? "I know." But there's an E in that. How do you translate that? There's no I in team. It means that there is no the letter I in the word team. Yeah? And Kobe replied, "But there's me, M-E, in that." How do you translate that? So those kind of things, yeah, cannot be translated, even in the sentence level, because it is two source language, pure source language, and those are, yeah, impossible to be translated because Indonesian doesn't have the context. The same with the noun phrase, with what you mentioned.
So it's like M for Mimi and W for Wumbo in SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's completely okay not to translate everything
Yeah.
in the text. Instead of translating, we can simply add some extra
Explanation.
explanation.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Any other question from the audience? Well, I guess that marks the end of the second session. Thank you very much, Dr. Adam Ansori, for the very insightful presentation and discussion on translation. So yeah, in translating English into Bahasa Indonesia, it's important to focus on the meaning instead of the form, and we need to pay attention to especially the syntactic order, so that we do not change the meaning of the translated word. Okay, and let's give a round of applause to the presenters. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yes, okay. Is my voice audible? Is my voice okay, everyone? In the online, for the online audience? Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. For the offline and online participants here, I hope you are you have a good morning today. So this is going to be the last plenary session, and I will be chairing the session with Dr. Rizky Farani. So Dr. Rizky Farani will be sharing insights on her newly founded theory or model about blended learning. So for those who are interested in the field of blended learning or ICT in education, you may be very welcomed and happy to listen to this, to listen to her presentation. So first of all, I would like to provide a brief introduction about her for those who have not known yet. So Dr. Rizky Farani is a lecturer at Universitas Islam Indonesia. Her research interests include blended learning, online learning, and self-regulation in digital learning. Her recent research is developing scaffolded self-regulatory blended learning model to improve students' competencies in managing digital information. The research was part of her doctoral program dissertation. For further research, she is interested in investigating more phenomena related to mental well-being in digital learning. And in this occasion, she will be delivering her paper entitled Developing a Scaffolded Self-Regulatory Blended Learning Model to Improve the Skills of Digital Information Management. So this research includes participants from undergraduate students in Yogyakarta and using quantitative and
I would like to share with you a story from the background. Okay. I will start my story by identifying the rationales or the background why I developed this model. Okay, the first thing that I will highlight is the system. As we know that when you hear a word blended learning, I'm sure that it is not a new model in education. I believe that many educators have used blended learning in all levels, either at school level or university level. However, we also realize that blended learning apparently is at the level of exploration. It means that we are not finished yet. We are still figuring out how to design effective blended learning for our students. It happens because of the different regulation and different infrastructure in every situation. Some institution may be so ready in implementing blended learning, because they have many infrastructures, they have a good internet connection, but maybe some other institution in another part of Indonesia or maybe other region, they have lack of internet facilities, or they don't have any sufficient learning management system that can support the implementation of blended learning. It affects the regulation, the infrastructure and regulation connects to each other. Because when there is a lack of infrastructure, means that of course, they have their own regulation in conducting blended learning. Yeah, so the first aspect that creates challenges in implementing blended learning is the system. Okay. Second, I have noticed that some previous research show that some students join blended learning for academic purpose only. For my students here, I don't know about you guys, but this is research, okay? I'm not talking about you. But some research show that some students do not engage fully in blended learning because they think they just do the assignment because of it's the requirement of the course. Not because they like the blended learning, not because they enjoy the blended learning. It's just because they just need to pass. I don't know about you, yeah? I hope not. I hope you like my course. Okay, so, but that's a part of the previous research, yeah? That happens in some universities around the world, yeah? Not in our university. Okay, yeah? So we come to the third factor, yeah? The challenge of the implementation of blended learning is human resource, the readiness of the teachers, the readiness of the students. It's also important to be noticed, yeah? It's not about system, it's not about the reason why they join blended learning, but it connects with the readiness in their mind, their soul, how to connect the learning objective with their mental well-being, yeah? You know that sometimes there is a need of skill in digital information because it relates with independent learning and the knowledge of scaffolding. We know that today, in today's era, information is everywhere, right? It's easy for you to access information. It's easy for us to get information instantly. But what happened? What happened with those information in our mind? What is the impact of those information to our soul? Realize it or not? We are trapped in a hustle culture, right? Everything is just, in a rush. Everything should be like instant. In an instant condition, we need feedbacks. We need answers. We need result. Information is everywhere, just a click away, right? We are like exhausted with all of those information. It affects our mental well-being. We have like something we call FOMO, yeah? Fear of missing out. Yeah, we have anxiety, overthinking maybe, yeah? You name it. Mental well-being is a part of the popular discussion in technology today. Because sometimes we just cannot connect ourselves to the process of learning. We just move on with one information to another information. Can you imagine you get like 10 or maybe more information in one time? For example, I will simulate the condition to you, yeah? You scroll, let's say Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, whatever you use every day. You scroll it. And in one time, you get happy information and you said, oh, the cat is so cute. Yeah? And then you scroll again. There is a news about accident on the street. And then you cried because someone died there. And then you scroll again, yeah? And then you say something that confusing, maybe hoax or something you don't know. You just take it for granted, the information, yeah? So, realize it or not, you don't have any time to validate your feeling. right? Everything is just so fast. Between the happy face, sad, tears, everything is just going on in your life like in an hour or maybe in a couple of minutes. You know, it drains your energy. It drains your mental well-being, yeah? So the development of information reduce our energy to validate our feeling, to regulate our emotion, to regulate our mind and heart, to feel the process of learning. Suddenly we just forget about the learning. We just focus on the news, we just focus on the tools, we just focus on the scrolling down thing. Yeah? So I think this is a reflection for all of us here, as educators, as scholars, yeah? It is time for us to go back to ourselves. There is the need of connecting between technology and learning again. I always said to you guys, yeah, and my students here, I always tell you that technology is not about the tools. Technology is about the human learning. So go back to yourself. We need to connect the technology with our soul, our brain, to maximize or to scaffold the self-regulation in ourselves. We need self-regulation in using technology, yeah? Because technology just, can show us a different path. Sometimes the path is right, sometimes the path is wrong, sometimes the path is confusing. We're just trapped in that kind of situation. We cannot let go, yeah? So we need time to relax. We need time to calm down, among other technology that, sometimes just bring you into the hole that you don't understand about your life, yourself. So start connecting, yeah? Start connecting ourselves with the technology. Focus on you, focus on what we need, focus on the human learning. Technology is just a tool. It's made by people, it's made by humans, it's not perfect, yeah? So the focus is actually not the tools, but human. So let's start with the human. So that's the inspiration actually that brings me to the solution. Okay, I will create a blended learning model that focuses on the human, not the tools. Whatever the tools, I don't care. Because I know that every institution has a different media, yeah? In Universitas Islam Indonesia, maybe we have many things that we can use. We have Google Classroom or other learning management system. Maybe in another university they have another media. It's okay, yeah? All students, all teachers, they are free to use many media, whatever it is. Let's focus on the human. Let's focus to our brain, our soul. Yeah, let's focus on scaffolding the way we regulate our emotion to connect ourselves with the learning objective. What should we do? What should we share? What should we find? What should we select from the internet? There are many information. How do I know that information is good for me or not good for me? So we need to start with that. Yeah? So we need a scaffolding. Scaffolding is like a ladder. Yeah? You need to systematically create a ladder for your own learning style that will match with you or your students. Okay? Yes. So that's the solutions that I propose. This one. This is the model that I create. This is my masterpiece that I have created like in a year, yeah, during 2023. I created this model. I will explain to you how to use this model. Okay, so I start creating or designing my model, but identifying the needs of students. This model is created for students at the undergraduate level. Yeah, so for my students here, this is for you guys. I dedicate this for you because this model is implemented in university level for undergraduate students, so not master degree or a doctoral degree. Yeah, so this is for undergraduate students, and undergraduate students today are dominated by Gen Z. Yeah. So I learned a lot about Gen Z. You know, it's very interesting to know you. You create a new insight for us, yeah, for another generation to see the life that is more fun, entertaining, and then a more variety of learning resources. Once I ask my students what kind of media or resource that you usually use every day to find information, and my students said that they use TikTok. Okay, I realize now that social media is one of the resources for learning today. In my age, maybe we didn't use those kinds of social media for learning, yeah? But today everything changes. I understand that. We need to embrace changes, yeah? The development of technology changed the way students learn today. So before I develop this model, I need to understand the need of the learning of Gen Z, yeah? Okay, I said to my students that I allow you to find information from TikTok or any other social media, it's okay. But the most important thing is you need to have a digital literacy skill which focus on the selection of information to make sure that the information is relevant with your topic or your learning objective. So that's the first thing, yeah, that I do. The second thing is I developed aspects of blended learning. You see that there is a circle there, yeah? The brown one, the brown circle outside of the pyramid. There is offline, online. Of course there is offline, online because my model is blended learning. Blended learning model is a combination of offline meeting and online meeting. Yeah, for my students here, you already know my character, yeah? Every time I have a class with you, I always use blended learning method. Okay, so I create offline meeting for my students, and then I create online activities by using Google Classroom or any other media, yeah, like WhatsApp group or maybe Google Document, Google Form, yeah, and other activities that relates with the offline meeting. So there should be a connection between offline meeting and then online activities. Okay, every offline and online meeting I provide with 3 steps of self-regulation. Maybe my students here still remember, yeah, the steps: planning, monitoring, and reflecting. Yeah, so I integrate 3 steps of self-regulation in my blended learning model. In offline meeting, in online meeting, they conduct 3 steps: plan, monitor, reflect. Plan, monitor, reflect. It's a kind of rotation that repeats, yeah, either in offline and online meeting. Okay, that way my students have time to scaffold their self-regulation. They can have time to reflect their self, yeah, to make sure that they are still on the track with all of the activities from the beginning of the semester until the end. So the focus of my model is actually preparing not only academical setting, yeah, academic setting, but also the psychologists, thing in their heart, their soul, so they have time to always look into their self. Yeah, I give them time to know about themselves. I give them time to discuss with their friends, group work, collaboration. Those are all in one package in self-regulation. Yeah? Offline, online. Plan, monitor, reflect. Plan, monitor, reflect. It repeats, yeah, during the whole semester. Okay, so that way they will have time to scaffold their ICT competence. I focus on 4 ICT competence to manage information from internet. The first is I ask them to find the topic, yeah? I ask my students to find one topic that is interested for them. Yeah, for example, let's say they choose a topic about education. Yeah, education is still a general topic, so I ask them to specify the topic again. Let's say kurikulum Merdeka Belajar. Yeah, so the general topic is about education, and then the context of the topic is about kurikulum Merdeka Belajar. And I ask them again to specify the context, yeah. For example, the implementation of kurikulum Merdeka Belajar for elementary school. So it means that they focus on young learners. So that's actually the first scaffolding that my students do in the classroom. They select the topic first. They plan the topic first, and then they monitor, okay, is it a good topic for us? Do I know something about this? Yeah? Do I like it? Okay, yes, I like it. Okay, we can move on with this topic. Oh no, this topic is too hard. I don't like it. I will change it. Okay, that's fine. I give them time to change the topic. If they don't like it, it's okay, yeah? We can change the topic again to another topic, it's fine. Okay, so, there is a power of monitoring. There is a power of asking and asking and asking about what do I need here? Why should I choose this? If I don't like it, why should I keep it? Maybe I just have to let go and find another topic, find another information. So, there is a process of self-regulation to regulate the mind and the heart. So the brain and the soul is like connecting to each other to find the best thing for them. Yeah? Once they finish with the first scaffolding, they move to the second scaffolding. They select many information from the internet that relates with the topic. Let's say they change the topic. Oh, no, I don't like about education. It is too formal. It is too serious. I want something like fun, like entertainment. How about fashion? Yeah? Okay, they choose fashion. Fashion for female apparel or something like that, yeah, that relates with their life. Okay, I will talk about the development of fashion industry in Indonesia, for example, yeah. They like fashion. If you like fashion, you can choose fashion or other topic, is fine, yeah. Okay, let's say fashion. They select some information about fashion, yeah, from internet. They get like, let's say they read around 20 references about fashion, okay? 20 references is like a lot, yeah? So, there is the third scaffolding here. After they select many references from the internet, let's say they find 20 references, they need to select the references, the 20 references, they narrow it down to, let's say, 5 references only to choose the most relatable one. They don't have to quote those kind of things, yeah? They need to select So the third scaffolding that I conduct in the classroom is they make mind mapping. Yeah, so I ask my students to make the mind mapping just to make sure that they can choose, they can narrow down, they can reduce the information from 20 references to 5 or 3 references only. So, there is a process of decision making, right? There is a process of asking themselves again, should I take this information? Should I use these articles? I think this article is not relevant. I think this article is too general. I don't want to use it. I will find another. Okay. They are free to change. They are free to read. Yeah, so the second and the third scaffolding is about how to form or to create a good foundation of reading before they can present their information in front of the classroom. And they conduct those activities offline, online. Not only with me in the classroom, but online with their friends at home. Yeah, they can discuss it at home. I give them more time to discuss it outside of the classroom. I will give feedback in the next meeting after they finish with the group discussion. Okay, so there is a process, here, the scaffolding. Again, the point of my model is scaffolded self-regulatory. That's the one package of process that they will do, yeah? Scaffold their emotions, scaffold the mind, scaffold the feeling, everything. Yeah, asking again. The point of my model is actually in the monitoring phase. Yeah, the phase of monitoring them. Then the role of the teachers is actually only facilitating learning. The main agent of learning is actually the students, not the teacher. Yeah? So the teacher should not talk a lot in the classroom. Yeah? The students who should do the work. The teacher is only facilitating learning. I always tell this to my students as well. Yeah? Since all of my students are pre-service teachers, so someday they will teach at the school. Yeah? So I always highlight that when you integrate the technology in your classroom, remember the role of the teacher is only facilitating learning. Let your students be active. Yeah? You just need to be there for them, to give them feedback, and to make sure that they are on the track with everything, the readiness, the activities prior material. Or maybe you want to add ice-breaking games, before the offline thing. You just need to make sure that the students engage with all of the activities. That's the role of the teacher, especially in blended learning setting. Sometimes, when we conduct blended learning, we just cannot catch up with checking our students online, For me, I'm still learning to build the connection of students' engagement in online setting. That's one of the follow-up that I will explore again in my next research. I'm still curious how can a teacher can make sure the students' engagement, especially when we are not together in a classroom. If we are together, it's easier, of course. I will just say, okay, students, do you have any questions? It's easier for me to check on you if my students and I are at the same location. But when you are away, I just rely on Google Classroom or group WhatsApp to check on you, and to check whether you are okay with the assignment or do you have any problem there. I don't know if you don't tell me, So there should be a connection to maintain the students' engagement, especially in online setting. So that's the importance of the mind mapping in the third scaffolding. layer, yeah, in my model. Okay, the last thing, the last scaffolding is, of course, they need to present the results of their work. Yeah, they have a presentation, they make a presentation that elaborates all of the information that they submit from the first scaffolding until the end of the scaffolding, just to make sure that they can connect the first, the second, the third, and then the fourth scaffolding to be in one good information. Yeah, so there are many things going on, yeah, in my model. Many things going on here. There is blended learning, yeah, the combination between offline and online meeting. I use a theory from Stan and Graham, who say that the blended learning is a combination of offline and online activities. I also use the theory from constructivism. Yeah. Constructivism say that learning happens when the students explore by themselves based on the experience and the social interaction. So there should be a collaboration in this part. Yeah? So there are many going on here. Offline, online, scaffolding, and then the self-regulatory thing, yeah, with the planning, monitoring, reflecting, asking again, asking, changing, revising, consultation. You know, it's like I focus on the process. That's the point of my model. I focus on the process of connecting the heart and mind, yeah, to make sure that they understand that the learning is about the process of reaching out who you are. So it is time for us to think again, to revisit again, to redefining again that the existence of technology is actually good if we can connect the tools and the human learning. Go back to ourselves, connect the learning objective with yourself. Yeah, ask yourself, what do you need? Find yourself, connect with yourself, reflect and ask yourself, what do I need? What should I do? And then later you will find the best thing for you. Yeah? So the main point that I like to highlight is the implementation of blended learning today should consider the readiness of our students and the readiness of ourselves. Yeah. The teacher, yeah, we should find ourselves, you know, like teacher's identity is that important. Yeah? True identity of an educator comes from our personal development. Based on my reflection during my doctoral program, I realized that blended learning is not just combining the media, it's not just about method. Actually, it's about reflecting our life, the journey of our life as a teacher, how we perceive ourselves as a teacher, yeah? Our self-regulation, our self-confidence, our self-efficacy, you know, it will affect the way we design the learning, right? Once we know our goal in life, once we know our true identity, once we know our character, it will be easier for us to create effective learning for ourselves and our students. Yeah. So personal development, professional development is like one of the new things that we need to consider every time we want to implement blended learning or maybe other methods. That's why my further research, I will focus more on the personal identity. Yeah, either it is as an individual learner or a professional. Because for me, once we know about ourselves, once we explore ourselves, once we understand the goal of our learning, it is easier for us to facilitate our students. Yeah? So start from ourselves first, and then we can move on to the next stage of preparing the best thing for our students. I think that's all from me, Ms. Sari. Thank you very much all participants for your attention. We will open for question and answer. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, big applause for Dr. Rizky Farani, everyone. That was a very insightful and inspiring presentation about scaffolded self-regulatory, right? Yeah, okay, so I think we all can relate to everyone. I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty convinced that everyone has their social media. So we all can relate that sometimes when scrolling down social media or internet itself, it makes us anxious or maybe, sometimes we got like lost track of time, yeah, when scrolling down social media, and then learning doesn't take place. Meanwhile, well, because we are still students, and even though we are all teachers here, we always have to learn, right? So, Dr. Rizky Farani here wants to propose a solution, which is scaffolding itself, that we as both teachers and students have to make self-regulatory methods to ensure that learning takes place while searching for information on the internet, which is plan, monitor, and reflect. That's I think the most key takeaways that we can learn from her session. So that is, ladies and gentlemen, we will now move on to the Q&A session. Is there any question from the online audience here? Or maybe from the in-person participants, students? Okay, please. Okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah, thank you, Bu Rizky, for the insightful presentation. My name is Pratama Adi from Language Training Center Universitas Muhammadiyah Jakarta. And it is true, first I would like to agree with you. What you elaborated in the first part of your presentation is really true. Yeah, as a part of the effect of the pandemic era, everyone is not ready with the change at that time. Also, I try to make them understand that the situation, the changing from conventional method into the digital method, push us into a situation, and we have to do that. No preparation, but we have to do that. Yeah, I try to make them understand, but there is tension at that time. Yeah. And I try to quote Heraclitus, a Greek philosopher, that said, the only constant in life is change. So we have to be ready with the change, with the changes even. That is why at this point, no matter what we feel at that time, we have to go on with the situation. And I also mentioned that when it comes with technology, there is no backward. So when we already use the technology, we are going to use more and more technology. That is why I think that is very contextual with current condition in my institution as well, yeah, because we also have learning management system based on Moodle, and well, it is not exactly blended learning, but sometimes when we running out of time, we do not have time to conduct conventional learning. We do that as a makeup class. And what my the question is that the first question is that I have two questions if it is okay. The first question is that technically, is there any strategies to govern or manage massive classes using your model? Yeah, because what you try to explain to us is probably, I assume that you implement that in a small scope class. In fact, in my institution, we have to govern or manage too many classes. Is that applicable in that context? That is the first. And the second one is related to digital well-being. I know what you explained, what you said needs a very strong philosophical principle to embrace that we have to, we have to reflect, we have to pay attention more on our students, and we have to be strong to motivate them, not to be, we are, like you said, we are in a very hustle culture, but our heart has no muscle. The heart is not strong enough, right? Yeah. So, how to make the educator awaken that principle or spirit? Yeah, because it is very difficult. What I expect from the educators, from the instruction, from the teacher or lecturers is that they can motivate the students, but the problem is that it is the teacher actually need motivation rather than the students. So, can you give your opinion on that? Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. I will start with the first question about the implementation of my model in a very large class. Yeah, for the practice, yes, I conducted my model in a small class, but I think this is still possible to be conducted in a large class because my model is actually flexible. Yeah, educators do not have to conduct the whole semester from meeting 1 to meeting 14, for example. Yeah, for 2 credit course or maybe other bigger credits. Educators can choose whether that the implementation is for meeting 1 until meeting 5, for example, or maybe meeting 9 until meeting 12. So the teacher needs to decide, or maybe the teacher can decide with the students, yeah, to implement this model in what meeting. It's flexible. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like from meeting 1 from the beginning until the end. I conducted 2 tryouts for this model. The first tryout is from meeting 1 until meeting 7 only. And then after mid-test, no. And then for the second tryout, I conducted from the first meeting until the end. So I conducted two different tryouts, yeah? So it is very flexible, don't worry about it. It is easier to be implemented. If you don't have any time or energy, yeah, to implement for the whole semester, you can choose how many meetings that you need to implement this model. And if you have a very large class, I used peer collaboration. So in every group, I group the students into small groups, yeah? Small groups, not big group. Because in my opinion, small groups will give more time for them to connect with the other members. If we create too many groups, like very large groups, like 5 or more students, it will not be effective. So one of the key points in my model, actually, small groups like 3 or maximum 4 students, not more than that. So they can divide the job description equally among the members of the group, and the leader of the group can help you to check or to do the monitoring things. Yeah? Teachers can provide like a checklist. Yeah, so the leader of the group can have a checklist that they need to check like every week, yeah? For example, you implement from meeting 1 until meeting 3. So teachers provide checklists from meeting 1 until meeting 3. The leader will help you to check everything and they will submit the monitoring checklist to you. That way, you have assistants. You have many assistants in your class to conduct the blended learning situation setting, yeah? So, yeah, you don't have to do it alone. It will be so exhausting for you to do it alone, yeah? So, one of the theoretical framework that I use is constructivism. So, collaboration and group work is important. It should be there, yeah? It's a part of the design. So make sure that you create groups for your students. Of course, you can provide individual assignment as well. Yeah, individual assignment and group works is like a combination. So you can, let's say you have 4 assignments, yeah, in one semester. Maybe the first assignment can be individual, and then the second assignment can be in a group work. Yeah, that way you can have a system to make the checklist, yeah, to do the checklist, to do the monitorings, and you just read the result. Okay, group 1 is good, group 2, okay, a little bit left behind. Okay, group 3 not done yet, group 4 not done yet. You can check based on the submission of every leader. So assign the leader. It will help you a lot, especially in bigger size of classroom. For my classroom, I have smaller class, but for other universities, maybe they have bigger class, and I think it is still possible to do that. Yeah. Okay. Move to the second questions. Yeah. About the motivation. We should strong and motivate our students. Okay. I think we need to redefine strong here. Yeah. So far, during this time, when we say strong, yeah, when we say the word strong, we always think that strong means we cannot be sick. We need to be healthy, smile, and beautiful every day, yeah? I think we need to redefine the meaning of strong. The meaning of strong is actually it's okay not to be okay. Always check on yourself. Always check on ourselves, just to make sure that we are okay, we are sure. So the point, one of the important point in my scaffolding activities is the students have time to check on themselves with the monitoring things. Actually, the impact or the implementation of the checking, not only for the students, but for the teacher. You know, when we facilitate the learning, the students are the ones who are active. We need time to calm down. We need time to calm down, we need time to relax. We need time to check our lesson plan again. Am I on the track? Okay, good. Assignment 1 checked. Assignment 2 checked. Okay, mid-test. Do I have a question for my mid-test? Okay, I have. When should I post it in Google Classroom or any other LMS? Yeah. So, you know, the scaffolding is actually not for the students. The monitoring things is actually for us as well to check on ourselves whether we are okay or not okay. Because as we know, the educators in Indonesia have a lot of jobs, I know. It's not just about teaching. We have many things, we have many agenda, we have many drama. Even it's like more of K-drama in our life, I understand that. So, you know, that scaffolding and self-regulation is actually not for the students, but it gives impact to ourselves as well. So when they are active, we just facilitate the learning. We need time, we have time to calm down. We need time to check again, to monitor again. Okay, I'm good in here, I'm done in here, I'm not done in here. Okay, I need help. Maybe I will find another leader, I will add one more group so I can have more leader to help me to check or to monitor the other work. Okay, I need to call this, and this. You know, we can assign some students that would think that we think that, oh, they're quite active. I think they're good in leadership. Yeah, we can select some students who can be our assistant in the class, so we can check on ourselves first. Yeah, so strong here means that we know when to move, we know when to stop. That's the definition of stop today. Yeah, so strong means that we know that we are not okay, we know our coping mechanism, we explore ourselves, the strength, the weakness, and one more, boundaries. Sometimes we forget that word, yeah? Sometimes we are like, take it for granted or feel like, oh, I'm a teacher, I'm strong. I have to do everything on my own. That's my job. I should be professional. Okay, wait right there. Please redefine the meaning of professional. Okay, what kind of professional thing that you mentioned here? I mean, we are human, right? So the time of exploring and redefining the meaning of strong doesn't mean that you don't have any right to tell that, hey, I need to back off a little bit because I need a break, I need time for myself, I need to regulate my feeling. After that, I will go back to you later. Yeah? So let's redefine the meaning of strong. Strong doesn't mean that we need to handle everything and we should be strong in every situation. Okay? Do not over-criticize yourself. Appreciate every little thing that you do for yourself and for your students. That way you can find yourself better. You can explore yourself better. You know, okay, I need to take a rest. Okay, I can move on. Okay, I can run. Okay, I have to stop. Yeah, okay, I have to eat. Okay, I have to sleep. Okay, I have to cry. Even cry, yeah, for you cry. You male cry, yeah, please. I know the pressure. We live in a patriarchy culture where the males are like not allowed to cry. No, please cry if you need to. It's healthy to cry, yeah? Let's validate the feeling, the strong feeling that, let's humanize everything. Let's humanize the learning. So do not forget to connect with yourself, yeah? Especially in blended learning. Blended learning is, many things, many aspects. You need to find offline activity, online activity with the technical problems and maintaining the students' engagement. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of aspects, it's a lot of components. If you do not check on yourself, you will be trapped in that kind of situation. Yeah, maybe it will not be succeed at the end. Yeah, so my model is really flexible. If you think that you cannot implement it all the way long until the end, it's okay. Just a half of semester is okay, or maybe just a couple of meetings, like 3 meetings, it's okay. The scaffolding is right there, you do good, everything is good, and when you take rest, then you can continue again to develop the other model. You can combine my model with another model, yeah, so this is not like the only model that you can use in one semester. Please combine with other model just to make sure that you will feel comfortable with that. Your students are also comfortable with that and they have the students' engagement and maintain motivation, both you and your students, okay? Thank you very much.
Okay, does that answer your question, Pak Tama? Okay, thank you so much for the answer, Dr. Rizky Falani. So I think we have already received one question from the online audience here, from Ms. Astri Hatsari. So I will read the question for you. How much monitoring phase do you recommend for each meeting of 2 times 45 minute session at school and 2 times 50-minute session at the university?
Okay, thank you very much for the question, Ms. Astri. Okay, since I focus my model on the process, I do not limit, yeah. Again, the characteristic of my model is actually in the process of the human learning. It's the process of a mental well-being. So I do not limit. Yeah, even if I am at home and I have that kind of energy to check on my students, I will check on them. I will ask them,
Guys, how are you doing? Are you okay? And the submission this is the recap of our assignment 1. Thank you for group 1 who have submitted this assignment. Thank you for group 2. Group 6, I'm still waiting, okay? Yeah, so this is not about the time, yeah? Try to be flexible. Try to free yourself from the, that kind of lesson plan that trapped you in administrative thing. We are talking about human here, yeah? So we focus on the human learning. I try to focus on my students' well-being. So if I have energy to give them feedback, although I'm not at the university, or maybe the teachers are away, because of the conference of other agenda. So the point of online learning, the point of blended learning is actually the social presence between the teachers and the students, to connect to each other, to build the engagement, to make sure that, hi, I'm still here for you, don't worry. If you have any problem, you can ask me, don't worry, yeah. If you don't tell me, I don't know how to help you. Yeah, so I do not limit the monitoring, yeah. Based on my tryout experience last year, I had many different situations. In one class, I gave more than 3 monitoring space, I think. But in another class, many times. My model, the output of my model will be different because it's based on the characteristic of the students. Yeah, for a fast learner, maybe the monitoring twice is okay, but for other students they need more. But for another students they need even more, because in my case, one day when I conducted my tryout, there was one group who didn't submit at all. So the teacher, I was not the teacher, I was the observer. So when I observed the learning management system, there was one group who didn't submit at all. The teachers should remind them a couple of times, guys, do not forget to submit, guys, do not forget to submit. Not you guys, another students. So there was one group who didn't submit at all. So the monitoring process needs more and more. The teacher should ask again, okay students, don't forget to submit, I'm waiting. And then next meeting, students, group 1, do not forget to submit, and another meeting. It's more than 3 meetings, we wait until they submit. So I face some unpredictable situation because we deal with human. My model focused on the human, not the tools. So the tools that I use for my model is actually simple. I use Google Classroom, WhatsApp group, Google Document, Google Form. But when we check on the students, when we monitor the students, we can see the diversity of the characteristic of how students learn. That's the insightful thing that I got from my research, that, okay, dealing with human is not easy. I need to deal with myself first before I deal with them. I need to motivate myself first before I motivate them. I need to have a self-awareness before I raise their self-awareness. Everything comes from me. Everything comes from myself. So that's why I noticed that the identity of the teacher can affect the successful of my model. Everything comes from ourselves, and then we can embrace people if we embrace ourselves. Thank you, Ms. Astrid.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Rizky Farini, for answering I think if we add up the total questions would be 3. The 3 questions from Mr. Tama and Ms. Astrid Hatsari. Thank you so much. So I think because the time's up, this is the end of the session. I'm so sorry for if you have any more questions, you can contact Mr. Rizky Farini personally. Okay. So I think one of the most favorite quote that you, my personal favorite quote that you have mentioned before is that do not forget to connect to yourself. I think we all sometimes forget to connect to ourselves because we got too busy with our works, too busy with assignments. Sometimes we need to, we forget to be happy, right? That's why we need self-regulation. And also technology should focus on human, right? Not the tools. I think some of the reasons, one of the reasons is because we cannot control the tools that are all available out there. That have been available, and meanwhile we can control ourselves. So we can control what to do, what to make the most of the available platforms out there. So we need, we need more that kind of self-regulation itself. So ladies and gentlemen, so that is we have come to the end of our session. I want to extend our sincere thanks to Dr. Rizky Farin for the valuable insights and inspiring presentation today. Thank you also for all online audience and in-person audience for joining us today. We hope you enjoy this plenary talk and take away many useful ideas from our session. Okay, have a good day. So that's it for from us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are almost reaching the end of the third icoltec 2024. But before we close this event together, I think Ms. Duyan Sari Ramadhani have a very important announcement for all the guests here and also those who attend virtually in the Zoom meeting. I think Ms. Sari, since you're still here, you can say the announcement right away.
I should move to the middle. Okay, stop. All right, perfect. Stop moving. Okay. Yeah. Okay. For presenters, both online and in-person presenters, so I would like to announce regarding the paper submission. So for full paper submission for publication opportunity, please refer to our conference website, pbi.uii.ac.id/icoltec. Well, one of the teams will share the link to our WhatsApp group today. So you will find on the link the paper submission template available for download, which includes all formatting guidelines as well as the link to Google form where you should submit your full paper. And the deadline for full paper submission is on the 25th. Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. The deadline for full paper submission is on the 15th November 2024. So please make sure to upload your paper by this date. Okay. Our team will review your paper and then provide recommendation for publication according to our journal partners, themes, and the scopes. Okay, I think, well, if you have more questions or need more assistance, feel free to reach out our team on our WhatsApp group so that we can answer in person or via WhatsApp group. Okay, so we look forward to receiving your papers. Okay, thank you so much. That's all from me. I think, Ms. Dayu.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so this announcement is specifically for all the presenters who had sent their abstract and also presented their research yesterday. Right. Hello. Okay, so for the next agenda, before we close our event today, I'd like to invite Mr. Mahathir Asnawi on the stage to lead the closing prayer today. For Mr. Mahathir Asnawi, the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا شاكرين حمدا ناعمين حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيده يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة ونعوذ بك من سخطك والنار اللهم إنك عفو كريم حليم تحب العفو فاعف عنا يا كريم اللهم أحسن عاقبتنا في الأمور كلها وأجرنا من خزي الدنيا وعذاب الآخرة اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وذنوب والدينا وارحمهم كما ربونا صغارا ولجميع المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah. That was such a beautiful prayer recitation. Thank you, Mr. Mahathir Asnawi. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now finally reaching the end of our event, icoltec 2024. It's an honor to have you all, presenters, speakers, plenary speakers, keynote speakers, and all of the audiences here, both from outside UII and also from our students in English Education Department. Right, before we really close our event, I'd like to invite all of the guests who attend here in person to stand in front of the podium to take a picture together as our documentation. Would you please? Yes. Come forward and make a beautiful line and take a picture. Mahathir, would you? Yes. Penting, yeah. Mahathir is very important for this event. Come here, come here. Yes. Miss Intan, Miss Astri. I think Uus and Zul can be there, yeah, di ujung. Girls, we can make the second line here, or maybe the boys can also make the second line here. Yeah, together with the boys.
Jadi buat coba dikatakan.
Azizul, Azizul sini. Sama Uus juga, Uus. Kamu bisa di sini aja nah. Terus, udah rata belum?
Belum rezeki Mas. Ini hampir oleh. Kelingan kecil tidak menyenangkan.
Tunggu sebentar ya Mas, Bapak belum ada. Tokoh penting soalnya. Di sini mungkin ya.
Sebelah pimpinan.
Hafiz ikut quiz. Nanti di upload yang ada Hafiznya ya.
Ya, friends dulu. Tidak direstui friendzone aku. Thank you. Thank you to all of the participants. Yeah, it's the best part of the day, to take selfie together. Thank you once again. I would like to welcome you again on the 4th icoltec 2026 in 2 years from now. Yeah, so we would like to officially close the event, icoltec, the 3rd icoltec 2024 today by reciting Tahmid together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Once again, thank you for attending. Thank you for sending abstract, for presenting and participating in the discussion. Okay, Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Di luar, Pak. Oh, sorry. Oh ya itu ambil aja banyak. Bareng Pak ya. Iya. Untuk makan sini keluar ya? Iya, Pak. Belum. Wah, aku lihat
lahir dari salah satu dari